Lux your way with the Lux Cravings boxes from Taco Bell. There's the classic $5 box, the indulgent $7 box, and a whole new obsession in the $9 box, the Flamin' Hot Grilled Cheese Burrito. Try the Lux Cravings boxes at Taco Bell today.
How's your day going?
Going good, thank you, yes.
Check out the all-new Blue and Orange store at the Boise State Hall of Fame. The Blue and Orange store has your best game day gear. We're talking jerseys, hats, bumper stickers, car flags, more than 4,000 hats on the hat wall. If you want the best Boise State gear, make sure you check out the Blue and Orange store online at theblueandorangestore.com or the all-new Blue and Orange store down at the Boise State Allen Noble Hall of Fame.
As sports fans, we may cheer for different teams, but there's one thing that we can all agree on. We want the game to be big. And with 3 levels, 30 cabanas, a 143-foot screen, 6 clean pools, and endless cold drinks, it doesn't get any bigger or any better than Stadium Swim in Las Vegas. All sports, all seasons. It's more than a pool deck. Stadium Swim. It's the only thing like it in the world.
Really, guys?
What? Jackson's always had those game ready.
Let's go!
It's the all-wheel drive event at Lithia Ford of Boise. From hunting trips to ski trips to trips to Grandma's house. Nobody does AWD like LFB, Lithia Ford of Boise, where Ford begins in Idaho.
Find your sun with Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea. Made with real iced tea and real vodka. Cold, refreshing, and made for moments like these all year long. Let the good times cruise with Sun Cruiser.
When I want Boise State to win, I trust Coach Rice to lead the Broncos to victory.
And when I want the best painting and garage floor coating, I trust rowpaint.com to get that job done right.
This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news, all from the top Boise State insiders. Bronco Nation News Live is the only daily show that talks nothing but Boise State sports. And we do it with you. Give us your comments or questions in the ICCU YouTube chat. Or leave us a voicemail on the Signature Roofing voice inbox at speakpipe.com/BNN. BNN broadcasts come from the Sun Cruiser Studios. Sunny days call for Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea, made with real iced tea and real vodka. It's refreshingly smooth and easy to drink. Crack open a Sun Cruiser and let the good times cruise. Bronco Nation News is presented by our title sponsor, Lithia Ford of Boise, and our major sponsors, Taco Bell, Idaho Central Credit Union, RopePaint.com, and the Blue and Orange Store. At Lithia Ford of Boise, we're proud to stand with Boise State athletics. Through our NIL marketing partnerships, we're investing in the future of student athletes. Lithia Ford of Boise, here to get you there, wherever that may be. Lithia Ford of Boise, where Ford begins in Idaho. Broadcasting from the Sun Cruiser Studios, here's BJ Rains with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
Hey, how we doing, Bronco Nation? Happy Monday to you here. Super Bowl week, and we're fired for a full week of Bronco Nation News Live here at BroncoNationNews.com. My name is BJ Rains. We host this show every weekday at 9 a.m. talking Boise State football, basketball, whatever else is going on in Bronco Nation. And we are excited to be here on a Monday, coming off a loss to Grand Canyon for the men's team. Women's team, though, they are hot. They've won 7 in a row. Coach Gordy Presnell going to join us at 9:30. We'll give a little love to the women's basketball team as they continue to move up the standings, sitting in 3rd place. And they got a big week coming up, including a home game on Saturday against New Mexico. So plenty to talk about with the women's team. We'll give them some deserved attention coming up at 9:30. 9:15, though, Matt Bauscher going to join us, former Bronco basketball. Great 100-plus career three-pointers in his career. Great career playing for Boise State from 05 to 08. And we're going to bring in Matt Bauscher, Bauscher Real Estate, and talk Boise State basketball at 9:15. So here in about 7 minutes or so, we'll have Matt Bauscher join us. And always appreciate Matt coming on and giving us his perspective on the team. Was a tough one at Grand Canyon on Friday night, but the Broncos back in action. And sorry, Kurt, that's just not how it moves on. Time to move on to football. This team just didn't happen this year. 2 to 3 more. Wow, Kurt, can I take that bet? Well, let's put a bet on that for charity or something. 2 or 3 more games the rest of the season. Have you looked at the schedule? They still play San Jose at home. They play Wyoming. They play Fresno. And you don't think they're beating any of the other home games, Nevada tomorrow or UNLV? That's just crazy to me. I'm not saying they're going to crazy and win the win the conference tournament here, but to already say they're going to win 2 or 3 more games the rest of the season, that is wow, that's crazy to me. I think they've got more than that left in them for sure. I would go, if 3.5's the number, I would easily take the over on that. So maybe, Kurt, we do something for charity here. If you honestly think they're only going to win 2 or 3 games the rest of the season, I mean, look at the schedule. And also, like, they had won 4 in a row, and just because they had a bad second half against Grand Canyon, and Grand Canyon shot lights out from 3, that 20 minutes changes what you'd already thought about the team one way or the other. They'll win tomorrow night. I think they'll beat Nevada tomorrow night. I'll make that claim right now. I think they're going to beat Nevada tomorrow night, and I think they'll beat UNLV when that game's at home. They almost won in overtime at UNLV without Javen Buchanan, and it was in the middle of their funk. I mean, they can easily beat UNLV at home. And like I said, they still play Wyoming and San Jose and Fresno. I mean, I think they've got 5+ wins left on the schedule. So I know people are down on the team, and rightfully so. And again, I'm not saying this team's going to run the table and go to the Sweet 16, but let's have a little bit of perspective here. That was a pretty good first half on the road against a Grand Canyon team that has one of the top home court environments in all of college basketball. And you're right there, only down 2 at the half. And obviously the second half didn't go well, but I didn't watch that second half and go, man, this team's only going to win 2 games the rest of the season. And again, maybe I'm a little too positive, I guess, on a Monday morning for some of you, but it wasn't a great game. Clearly didn't go well. But if you were at the game and saw the environment and everything else that was going on with that, I think you'd have a little perspective on that the 4-game winning streak. And I get it. They played the bottom teams in the conference. There's no doubt about that when you talk about, putting the wins in perspective and who they had played and where they played them. And I get it. And we said that at the time. We said that at the time we weren't ready to print the championship T-shirts or anything. We were just, they've been playing well, and they obviously played well in the first half, did not play well in the second half, but sometimes the environment, the crowd, how they played, has to factor into that. So Sky says Lopes are legit, folks. Okay, now we've talked Kurt from 2 to 3, now to 4. Well, maybe by the end of the show we can get him to 5 or 6. Is this team great this year? No. Is this going to be the year that they win, go crazy and this is the greatest year? No, it's not. Sometimes those teams just happen, and they're middle of the road team. I would say they're middle of the road. That's a fair assessment. I would say they're middle to upper, but I when it's all said and done. I'm not ready to fully give up on the season when there's over a month left in the season. And also it's not what we do here. Sorry. We're Bronco Nation News. We cover the games, and we don't just give up and stop talking about the team or give up on the season to talk about, nothing happening on the football side with a month to go. So if the basketball talk is not up your alley and you'd rather do something else with your time than today and whatever, then talk about the team and then feel free to come back in a month when spring ball starts. That's that's fine. I mean, yeah, it hasn't been the greatest year, but I think folks in here are all fans and still like following the team and watching the team and wanting to talk about the team. So that's what we plan to do here. And like I said, the women's team, they deserve some love. We're going to give that. Gordy Presnell, 7 in a row. And, they have beaten a lot of the teams lower in the conference. That it doesn't look like the Mountain West is all that great this year on the women's side. There's a lot of teams with bad records at the bottom, but they're beating the teams they're supposed to, and they're moving up. I think that they look like they're having a pretty good season, 17-5 on the women's side. So we'll talk to Gordy Presnell at 9:30 to get his perspective on the women's team. And they got a big game coming up Wednesday at Nevada, and then they'll be home Saturday against New Mexico, a team that already beat them on the road. So that's going to be a big game Saturday at 1 o'clock for the women's team. But men's team, they're home tomorrow against Nevada. It's a whiteout. They're asking folks to wear white, pack the place, and they're trying to create a whiteout tomorrow night against Nevada. Boise State played, before Christmas. That was that ugly game before Christmas where they lost to Nevada. And Nevada clearly is having a good year, has some good players, but I don't think that's a game that you look at and go, man, there's no chance Boise State can win that game. I'm pretty sure at KenPom, Boise State's favored to win the game tomorrow night, so they'll be favorites at home. So to act like that's some crazy thing, 74-70. Boise State's supposed to win 74-70. Boise State will be favored in the game tomorrow night. So you can people can act like they have no chance tomorrow, but the analytics, the metrics, the betting favorite, they'll be favored to win tomorrow night against Nevada. So that's why I think they can win, and I think they will win tomorrow night's game. Deborah says, I will not give up. Team has the talent. What is going on is crazy, but I believe things will be right when the tournament gets here. Let's see. Honestly, hope as many of the players who can come back next year do. I'm in that boat. I think you have a lot of good players, and if you can get a lot of them to come back and piece it together with the right point guard and the right mix of guys, I think they have a chance to be really good next year. Some people might say, no, this isn't working. I want all these guys gone. But, Meadow, Fielder, Keene, Nato, Aarons, Bunn, Fielder. I mean, I think I said Fielder, but I mean, you lose Buchanan. That's a big loss. You lose Andrews. That's a loss. And you lose Parolin. But I mean, you have a chance to bring a lot a chance to bring a lot of these guys back here. So, I'm excited. I still think there's a lot of winnable games left, and we'll see here moving forward what that looks like. Hey, our title sponsor is Lithia Ford of Boise. Online, lithiafordboise.com. You can check out their full inventory of vehicles. They got some 2026s coming in, so they got to get rid of these 25s. Some great deals right now. Rain's family purchased our F-150 from Lithia. Jim Sturk and Company, one of the biggest supporters you're going to find at Boise State Athletics. And we're going to get out to Lithia here for a show in the near future. Lithia Ford of Boise online, lithiafordboise.com. Hey, Sun Cruiser, perfect beverage for the big game this weekend, any game, whether it's the vodka iced teas, the lemonade iced teas. Sun Cruiser, really appreciate them. Started drinking them down at Circa in Vegas. They're made their way to Boise now, and highly, highly recommend Sun Cruiser. Low carb, low calorie, no carbonation. Nice drink to sip on while you're golfing or just watching the game. Sun Cruiser, crack open a Sun Cruiser today and let the good times cruise. Hey, Idaho Central Credit Union, ICCU.com. Check them out. Idaho Central Credit Union, ICCU.com, the easiest e-branch mobile online banking you will find. And whether it's Pearson Carmichael, whether it's Natalie Pasco, there's 7 NIL deals for ICCU. They're back on board as an official sponsor with Boise State as well. So we appreciate Idaho Central Credit Union, ICCU.com. And we're going to be joined momentarily by our friend Matt Bauscher, 208-252-9877. We've been telling you for years, number one, selling real estate agent in the Valley, but that's now moved on to the state and now to the Northwest. If you want someone, it's going to fight for every dollar, every, ounce, every inch, every, penny when it comes to your sale of your home or your purchase of a new home. We experienced that firsthand with Matt Bauscher and Bauscher Real Estate and his team just every step of the way. It was just a perfect experience buying and selling our home with Matt. So highly recommend it. If you are looking to buy or sell, you hit up our man, Matt Bauscher, Bauscher Real Estate. Check him out online at BauscherRealEstate.com. And we're talking basketball, so that means Matt Bauscher. We need to check in with Matt. Always enjoy with the chances we get, and we always keep our fingers crossed on the audio and video, but we tested it before the show. I think we're good. Matt Bauscher, can you hear me?
I can hear you good. Can you hear me?
I'm just yes.
Oh
yes,
my gosh. I'm like, we even tested this. You're dead.
I love you, Matt. Appreciate you for coming on, man. We were just discussing. I mean, there was a guy in the chat here thinking they might win 2 games the rest of the season. So mixed thoughts on the team. Obviously hasn't been the season that anybody would have wanted to this point, but still a lot of games left. And I think this team has the talent where any kind of rational fan would say it wouldn't shock somebody if they made it like a run in the conference tournament, but also they've shown the ability to hang with any team or to lose to any team here. I mean, what do you just make of where we're at with the Broncos at this point?
February's here, which is crazy. So we're 0-0 for February. We're sitting at 13-9. Would anybody be happy or pleased with that? Absolutely not. But, I swung by practice for a minute yesterday. The guys are optimistic. They're energized. They got great energy. The chemistry felt really, really good. And they know they have to win tomorrow night. I mean, we're 3 games away from 4th place. And Nevada's one of those teams ahead. And if they beat Nevada, they're 2 games away. So every single game is huge, but I think they really need to start peaking. And the great thing about the NIL is you can pick up players you normally wouldn't get. The hard thing about the NIL is you got a lot of guys in new roles. I mean, you look at the roster and it's taken them months to iron this out. And what we've seen inconsistent results. I mean, we don't have the Degenhart and the Alvaro who's consistent night in and night out. And I'm hoping that is going to change now that we know 9 guys are getting playing time, which is depth, which will help in the Mountain West tournament. But also when you play 9 guys become a little bit uncertain of their role and what they can do. And that creates inconsistency.
And that you kind of answered my next question there, but what do you think, Matt, in terms of just why it hasn't clicked the way a lot of people thought it would this year?
I mean, let's just start at the point guard. You got 2 unbelievably talented point guards. One is a true freshman and one is a transfer in a new school, new environment. Obviously huge accolades at UCLA, but you start with the point guard spot and it's a completely new system, program, everything. So, I mean, it starts there. And then, the center position, Drew and Dom have been great. I feel like both of them are peaking right now, which is huge. And then you kind of got the returners in the RJs, Meadows, JBs, Peanuts, and those guys who, are the ones that have been here. They got the experience, and we've seen all 4 of them play great at moments. And I know those 4 want to be more consistent, but it's a tough situation when you got so many great wings and then Spencer's coming in and playing well, and you got to find minutes for these guys. Nobody's playing over 30 minutes. And I just look, 9 guys are getting significant minutes.
Yeah. And we'll get to some of the younger guys and their potential here in a minute. But a guy like Andrew Meadow, I mean, you look at the game against Grand Canyon, he only took 4 shots and he makes 3 of them. I mean, obviously the guy's shooting percentages are one of the highest in the conference, highest in the country, really, when you factor in some of the analytical stats, but they're just not getting him enough shots right now. And I know Grand Canyon plays pretty good perimeter defense, don't give you a lot of open shots, but I mean, San Jose, they win the game. He gets 12 shots. The game before that against Air Force only takes 3 shots, 10 shots, 9, 12, 4, 2. I mean, just 19, 4. Just seems like you don't really know if you're going to get what you're going to get. And I know it's not all Andrew Meadow. It's guys finding him and getting him the ball. But how do you get Andrew Meadow more consistent shots? Because when he takes 10 plus shots, this team's got a pretty good record.
I think it's a combination of both. Those guys got to know where he is on the court at all times. You're coming off a pick and roll. You got to have that 6th sense that where is Meadow on the court? Because yesterday they were running a really good drill. That was basically you had 8 seconds to score. Defense is scrambling. You got to make quick decisions with the ball. A few different times, DA drove, made great pass out to Meadow, and he made it every single time. But then Meadow also has to be more assertive. When he goes downhill and gets driving, he's so strong upper body wise that he can absorb contact and still finish, but he's got to take it to that next aggressive mindset in combination with guys getting him the job.
Yeah. Similar question there. Does he need to be calling for the ball more? Or do people need to be looking for him more?
Both. 100% both.
Let's see. NATO's going to be good, folks. His ceiling is the moon. We'll get to the freshman in a segment. Let's go to like a Carmichael. I mean, he had such a great freshman year last year, late in the season, burns the red shirt. I think a lot of people were expecting him to just really take this massive jump up, and he has had some really nice games, but you talk about the consistency there. He's a guy that you don't really know what you're going to get on a given night either from him sometimes. And I know minutes have a thing to do with that, and there's a lot more to it, but what do you see for a guy like Carmichael and how he can really take his game to the next level?
He is so talented. He has a big body. He's so talented. I know he's been really focusing on the defense, the rebound, and all the ins and outs, and not just being a knockdown shooter, because he can score at high volume when he's going and he has that confidence. What I know everybody wants out of him is being more than just a knockdown shooter, because the hurdle of that is when you're a knockdown shooter and you miss some shots, it makes you look around like, our shooter's not making shots. What else do they bring? And I think Peanut's done a really good job of trying to get, RJ toughness, defense, rebounding, intangibles, where it's not just about hitting shots, where you're a benefit to the team. And he's young still. I mean, he's played a year and a half total. I can see him completely going to a whole nother level if he can just stick with it, that confidence mindset, and get an opportunity.
Matt Bauscher, our guest here on Bronco Nation News. 114 career three-pointers, nearly 700 career points, 215 assists. I was looking at the stats, Matt. Didn't realize you fed the ball as much as you did.
Yeah, my assist-to-turnover ratio was always good. They made me a plaque that said 4th in the nation my senior year.
There you go. How about that? 05 to 08, and obviously great at getting your experiences as a player, but now as a fan and supporter and booster of the program, and we really always appreciate your time. But what do you make of the point guard play? We're talking assists here. Dylan Andrews been a little up and down at times. Leon was pretty critical of the point guards, a couple weeks ago. You look up at some of these games, and some of the numbers have gotten better here. But, I mean, I thought Nato just – for every moment he makes you think, wow, this guy's going to be a star. He also, and I don't say this to be critical or negative, but he reminds you that he's a freshman at times. And that in that Grand Canyon game, just had a couple just plays you can't make on the road to win the game, where you've got, in terms of the turnovers, a couple times he had some 2-on-1s and he's driving right into a guy trying to get a foul call instead of giving the ball up. Just frustrating play at times, because we've seen these moments where he, just looks like he's already an all-conference level player at times. So I guess you can take them individually, together, however you want to. But the point guard play on this team would seem to be one area that, if they can just figure out a way to get that short up here going forward, could be a big difference maker down the stretch.
Yeah, I think you hit it. Our like room for margin, our room for error is not very huge with the talent of the Mountain West. So you look at the layups that got blocked and they hit 3-pointers and they're 5-point swings. I mean, on the road, that's tough to overcome. We played them so good the first half, and Nito probably had, I'd say, his worst game of the Mountain West schedule was the one at Grand Canyon. He'll bounce back. I mean, yesterday he was fiery. He was good. He was finishing at the rim, and DA's gotten better lately. I mean, it's your eye knows that. He's shooting the ball better. He's making better decisions. His assist to turnover ratio is better. He's getting guys shots. His eyes are up. The less they dribble the ball and dribble the air out of the ball and they get the ball moving, the better our offense does.
All right, so we got the game coming up on tomorrow night against Nevada. The next 2 road games, Saturday at New Mexico, after the bye, 2 weeks from now at Utah State. We saw their crowd against San Diego State the other day. Just this next stretch here, what do you make of this next stretch? You've got Nevada, and you have UNLV at home during this stretch. The way the schedule kind of worked out, it was, hard stretch, easy stretch, hard stretch, and there is another easy stretch coming. They still obviously play San Jose, Wyoming, Fresno, in a row. But this next 4 games here, Nevada, UNLV at home, New Mexico, Utah State on the road. And then, like I said, you still get San Jose, Wyoming, Fresno. You finish up home against San Diego State, at Colorado State. 13-9, 5-6 in conference. What do you kind of make of this upcoming stretch here? Because they had won 4 in a row. We're playing better. And then obviously the second half, they kind of took a little bit of a step backwards against Grand Canyon.
I think home or away, every night's going to be a battle, especially against the top 8 teams in the league. So I think poise and chemistry on the court is going to be huge. So we don't go 5 minutes without a bucket like we do consistently, especially at Grand Canyon. You go 5 minutes without a bucket, you're going to be digging yourself out of a hole. So we have to get good shots, good poise, take care of the ball, don't be casual with it, and, stay together. And spectacular things can happen on the road. The last time I went to the pit was Max Rice going absolutely crazy and silencing the 15,000 screaming, obnoxious fans. It was powerful that night, but you had one guy go absolutely out-of-body experience. At Utah State, I've seen us beat them. Marcus Shaver with the game winner. These things can be done. And I would say that Utah State team we beat there is a lot better than this year's Utah State team.
All right. I was down there at Grand Canyon. Final thing or two for you here. We got Gordy Presnell coming up in a couple minutes, the women's basketball team on a 7-game winning streak. Looking forward to checking in with Coach. But I was down there at Grand Canyon, man, and I've seen every road venue in the Mountain West. There's been a lot of talk on the student section. I'm just going to play about a 30-second clip for you. I think you've seen this because you tweeted about it, but this was the pregame scene at Grand Canyon the other night. The crowd here, you see what's going on with the section. I mentioned the next couple of road games, having to go to Utah State, New Mexico. Big talk this year about the student section not really turning out for some of these men's games. What's your take on the venues around the conference and how Boise State can try to get even close to some of the atmospheres that we're seeing on the road?
I watch that and I get sad, I get mad, I get jealous. I saw the videos of like Gonzaga. Gonzaga has the right to have this. They're a national powerhouse. Grand Canyon is not a national powerhouse. So what they have done to get that energy inside that arena is absolutely crazy. And I know JD and Gogler and the whole staff is so creative. They're trying to come up with all these ways. And obviously we need to win on the court to have the energy come, but it can't just be a conditional relationship that is all prevalent on, hey, let's get to be top 25 out of the 365 teams and then we'll show up. Because the fans matter. I mean, you go on a road game in the Mountain West, especially against the top teams we're referring to, they can decide outcomes. But I'm jealous watching that, to be brutally honest. There's nothing more than I would want is a nightclub environment with our crowd. Everyone would want to be a part of that. So it's pretty amazing what they're doing. All I will do is give them props and salute them for creating an environment that people wish they had.
Yeah, this was when the team was coming out right before the game. Minutes before tip-off. I mean, it was insane, man. So what would your kind of message be, a final thing for you, just to the fans, the students, a lot of folks, maybe not particularly happy with the way the season has gone to this point, but home court does matter. These games obviously still matter. I mean, you see this right here. What would be kind of your sales pitch here for folks that aren't sure they want to, keep coming out and stuff the rest of the season here?
We only got a few more chances to watch these seniors, and these seniors have done so much for our community and our program that, I always get sad when the seniors leave because they're such ingrained in this family that when they leave, it's sad. And we only have a few more chances. Every game is big. I'll tell you this, there's not a lot of NBA pros in the league this year. So when we get to the Mountain West tournament, there's not one team that scares me like years past. So I know everybody says, it's all a crapshoot, but I really feel we can beat any team on a neutral court any single night, and we don't have to worry about that team that you get up against them. No matter what, you're probably going to lose. So it starts tomorrow. White out, huge crowd. Let's beat Nevada. Then we become 2 games out of 4th place. And when everybody doubts you and you're the underdog, it's fun.
Well, 7 o'clock game too, so nobody can complain about the start time or anything. So, Matt, appreciate you as always, man. Continued success. BauscherRealEstate.com. Folks know where to go and can reach out to you and your if they're ready to they're ready to buy or sell a home. You guys are ready to help them out. So, appreciate you, man, and we'll see you courtside. Hey, the fans are going to bring it. We need Matt Bauscher to bring it tomorrow night. I'll get you the refs' names. You get the throw cleared and you get ready to go tomorrow night. Let's go.
I'll be ready. Let's go. Go Bronco.
Thanks, Matt. Appreciate it, man. Matt Bauscher does great work. We appreciate him for joining us. And again, Bauscher Real Estate, #1 ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley, our man, Matt Bauscher. We appreciate him for his support of Bronco Nation News, and looking forward to tomorrow night's game against Nevada. Looking forward to Wednesday afternoon, I guess Wednesday morning, 11:30 tip for the women's program in Reno. We're nice enough now to be joined by Gordy Presnell, the head coach of the women's team. Coach, really appreciate you spending a few minutes with us here. 7 wins in a row. I know you're looking ahead to Wednesday and want to look. Coaches are always looking ahead, but you got to be pleased so far. We appreciate you coming on for a few minutes. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me. Yeah, we've had a good month of January. I would tell you, coaches are pessimistic, and last year at this time we were 15-7, and we'd beaten Colorado, and we're rolling, and we won 1 game in the month of February, and so I mean, a lot of factors went into that. We had some dads with cancer and some other things, but winning's really hard and at any level. And when you can get one, you have to appreciate it and celebrate it. But it's hard. There's a lot of factors that go into winning.
So how much time are you you seem like a guy that the second this game's over, you're already watching film for the next game. Do you allow yourself to have a cold one or at least celebrate a little bit during this streak?
You know, when I was younger, that little euphoria feeling you got, it was an awesome feeling. You always kind of search for it. And now, you know, the 3 a.m. wake up is usually you're on to the next game or you're bummed out about the last game. And so not as much as it used to be, but you know, I'm proud of our players. I'm proud of where we're at, but we need to keep going.
Well, you haven't had that negative feeling in a month, Coach. 7-game winning streak's been a nice stretch. You were in a little bit of a rough patch there. You went on the road and got beat, you know, by 2 teams there back in I guess late December, early January, and you're kind of teetering a little bit there. What's been the difference during this 7-game winning streak here?
You know, obviously schedules. It's hard to go out on the road. Your first 2 league games, and we got blitzed and didn't play well. Probably weren't in a good place as a team, and hard to go to the pit. They had great fan support. That, you know, one of those first games, and made it through Christmas, and then kind of got it together a little bit. We have great senior leadership. You know, I think Maya Hansen is about 16 points away from 1,000. The other 3 seniors already got 1,000. So we'll have 4 seniors with 1,000 points each, and that's all for Boise State. Every basket they've scored has been for Boise State. So it's hard to get 4 kids that stick together for 4 years, and right now they've reaped the benefits of it. They shoot extremely well. We're second in the country in 3-point percentage as a team. And I think Gonzaga's first and Connecticut's third. So, you know, we played San Jose State the other night, and we had a heck of a first quarter, and it was kind of an anomaly. No one has zoned us the whole year because of our shooting, and we're very, very guardable. But when you zone us, we can shoot it from 3. And so I think we made 7 in the first quarter or something like that, and we had 39 points. But then he realized he can't zone. San Jose just zoned us the whole time, and then they went man, and then it was an even game the rest of the way. But our kids have shot the ball extremely well.
Gordy Presnell, our guest here, women's basketball coach. Again, the 90-62 win you're talking about over San Jose State on Saturday, the 7th in a row. You mentioned the top 3-point shooting team, in the conference, 39.9%. You mentioned second nationally there. You're also the highest scoring team in the conference. You lead the conference in assists. I mean, just having a tremendous year. But I'm sure you would say the defense maybe is an area you're looking at. I think you're 9th in the conference in scoring defense. So as well as the offense has been, what are you guys focused on the defensive end here?
Man, trying to keep people in front of us. You know, it's interesting. We're a little of an enigma in that our post players are extremely athletic. Tatum Thompson, player of the week this week in the Mountain West, and preseason player of the year. And then Libby Hutton, very, very athletic. Our guards are not athletic, and they're very guardable, but they're very skilled. And so we've got our work cut out for us defensively. You know, we got to protect the rim, protect the paint, understand our scouts. All those things, because we can't do a bunch of running and jumping and trapping like you'd like to, because we don't have that kind of athleticism. On the other side of it, you're going to have to guard us and get a hand up, or we're going to make it. And that's been fun. I think the other thing that's really helped us is we've made a real conscientious effort in terms of physicality to rebound. You know, those old San Diego State men's teams, you know, they miss it and then they go get it. And if they miss it, they're going to go get it. And we've rebounded the ball much better in conference than we did in non-conference.
You mentioned Maya Hansen about to get to 1,000 points. Also currently leads the conference in assists. So not just a scorer doing it, giving the ball up as well. And Danny Bays, I saw 5th in scoring in the conference, but moved up into the 4th place in program history, 194 made 3-pointers. And it's like, okay, 4th in program history, 194. Then I saw that she passed Brooke Paukoa. And I was like, okay, that's a pretty darn good name to pass there. So obviously Danny Bays, you mentioned one of those strong shooters from the outside.
Yeah, she's done a great job and has really improved her game. And Natalie Pasco, you have to guard her. So we've been able to stretch the floor with the 3 backcourt players, and that enables Tatum Thompson to kind of do her thing a little bit. It's the depth part has been a hard challenge for us. Obviously, 6, 7, and 8 are kind of what wins the turn championships for you. And we lost 6 and 7 for the season with ACL and a ligament tear in the ankles. And so we've kind of had to regroup and do the whole 6, 7 thing by committee and just kind of by feel. But our starting group has done an outstanding job. And like I said, we've had bad months of February before. So if you ask me a week from Saturday, how's the season going? If we've won 20 or 21 by the second week of February, then we've had a great season. So we'll see how the next 2 weeks go.
Well, I got to ask you about Tatum Thompson because you mentioned her a couple of times, but 4th in the conference in scoring, 4th in rebounding, leads the conference in field goal percentage, coming off that 28-point game, believe it was a career high, made 11 field goals, 17 times, been in double figures. So how nice is it to have, someone you can count on to get you into double figures and count on to really be a scorer for you?
I'll tell you, Tatum is an anomaly too, because there's a lot of places she could have gone, and she bleeds blue and has bought into Boise State and has done a wonderful job for us. She's the most decorated player in the history of Washington State high school basketball, and we were fortunate to get her 3 years ago, and she's done an outstanding job for us. But she could have gone a lot of places last spring, and we've tried so hard to build the value of team, to build the value of culture. And those 4 kids sticking together, hopefully they reap the benefits. We'll see how the next 6 weeks go.
I don't know if you're willing to say a number or a ballpark. I don't think anybody has any idea what NIL looks like in women's basketball. But you mentioned being able to keep these players. I'm sure it's probably not because you're outbidding other schools, as you said. You're probably piecing together, more with less, so to speak here. But how have you had a couple in your career that I can think of that went on to play, especially at bigger schools. But for the most part, I feel like you've done a pretty good job these last 4 or 5 years in keeping and hanging on to your elite talent. How have you been able to do that?
I think we build relationships. We connect with everything. Bronco, bleed blue kind of thing. Believe in each other. Spend a lot of time together, developing friendships, and that's been a lot of it. And we made a commitment that we're going to try to get good freshmen in here and just build, and we'll take the losses and build with them. When we had that great run, we had a transfer from Arizona, Kansas, and Oregon. There's not a chance in a million years we would get any of those kids anymore. And at that next level, they're about 6 figures, and we're not doing six figures. I'll tell you that. So we've tried to build it through relationships, and we just have a heck of a core group, and I hope that it pays off for them.
Well, the fans are loving you in the comment section here, Coach. Presnell's a beast. We got someone saying if the women's team keeps it up, I'm going to change my season tickets to the women's team from the men's team. But hopefully you get them for both there. Come on. But what has it been like, during this streak? And I was looking at the attendance numbers. They're okay. I know you're happy with what you have, but you'd like to see more. And I know you're looking at Wednesday's game, but Saturday, a 1:00 game, you get a chance to get a team that beats you coming back into Extra Mile Arena. How nice would it be to see the fans kind of reciprocate the strong play on the court here and help you guys, with some of these home games coming up?
They're really helpful. And on Saturdays, we've been drawing a little more than 2,000, and which is great, but we'd love to have some more in. We went down and played Grand Canyon last week too. And it's quite an environment on the women's side as well. And they had that dialed in there, and hopefully over the next few years, we can figure out how a way to dial that in here, is get that kind of response and that kind of enthusiasm. And because fun basketball has a great environment as well. And then you got to play great basketball.
And I believe Grand Canyon beat you at home, and then you went down there and beat them at their place, right? So, that shows some of the improvements, I guess, you guys have made here.
Well, let's hope it happens on Saturday. Wednesday at Nevada is going to be tough because it's a 10:30 a.m. Game, Pacific, and it's their kids' night, so there'll be up 5,000 kids there. I made a huge mistake about 6 or 7 years ago. We did that same game for them, and we got our kids up at 6, 7 o'clock for pregame, and I didn't realize they went back to sleep after pregame, and you can't do that. And so I guarantee you, Tatum and her friends are going to be up after they have breakfast on Wednesday.
10:30 a.m. local time start there in Reno. I know they do this on the women's side to get school field trips and things in there, and it's kind of a crazy, just screaming, just noise atmosphere. But what is 10:30 one of the earlier games you've had?
I think 10:30, other than the Mountain West tournament, I think that's about the earliest we've ever had. Yeah, and so it'll be 11:30 Mountain, 10:30 Pacific. And so it changes everything with protocol and how you do things and all that kind of stuff. And, when do you get the kids up for pregame, and really, do you want to get them up 4 hours before, and so, but they're not, I can promise you one thing, they're not going back to sleep.
What's your excitement level with the Pac-12 next year? We've been talking a lot about the football, and they just had the meetings last week and trying to hammer out the football schedule. And we see, Gonzaga coming in and what they bring on the men's side, and I know the women's side as well. But what I know you're focused right now, but I know behind the scenes there's meetings and conversations and plans and things. What's that going to do for the women's basketball program moving into the Pac-12?
Boy, I think it upgrades recruiting. I think we have to do a wonderful job recruiting. We got to figure out some NIL stuff, and our people are doing great things for us in that regard. But Oregon State has been in the Final Four. Washington State won the Pac-12s 2 years ago. Gonzaga is perennially great. Colorado State, Fresno State, San Diego. It's all the top. I don't know anything about Texas State, to be honest with you. I don't even know their mascot or anything. But it's going to be quite a league. And the other thing it affects a little bit is non-conference scheduling, because there isn't very many teams, and so we got to up our non-conference schedule, and we got to find ways to get home games. You got to get home games to get some confidence. And so there's a lot of factors that are going in. We're trying to figure out the scheduling and all that right now.
Well, Coach, it's been a heck of a run here. Hope you can keep it rolling on Wednesday. And then, like I said, if you're fortunate enough, could be come home for a big game on Saturday. Hopefully we can pack that place. Looking forward to it. You're making me up. I'm going to have to change my flight, Coach. Come in a day earlier to Vegas now here with the way you guys are.
Maybe have you come in and talk to the team. Maybe we can beat New Mexico then. We'll see. All right.
Appreciate it. Thanks so much, Gordy. And we'll get out there. I'm going to bring the family out to a game soon. Maybe Saturday is the day, but appreciate you. And we'll hope to catch up with you again soon.
All right. Thank you very much for having me.
There he is, Gordy Presnell, again, 7 wins in a row. His, future Hall of Fame career, I'm sure, here with what he's been doing, and one of the winningest active coaches in all of college basketball right now. And it's just, you look up and there they are. I mean, they've had a couple down years, but recently they're turning it back around. And shout out to Gordy and the women's team, 7 wins in a row. And again, Monday, I guess it can't be Saturday because I'll be in Albuquerque for the game that night. But if you're in Boise, not going to Albuquerque, get out on Saturday and support the women's team. They've got a big one against New Mexico. But first, they'll play Wednesday, 10:30 a.m. against Nevada, looking for their 8th straight win. And Nevada, I think, only has 3 or 4 conference wins. So that should be a game they have a chance to win and keep things rolling here. But, hey, Jackson's 75-cent fountain drink when the Broncos score 75 at Jackson. So when the Broncos get 75 points, hopefully that's tomorrow night. Then 2 days later on a Thursday, you get a 75-cent fountain drink from Let's Go Rewards, using your Let's Go Rewards app from our friends at Jackson. And don't forget, anytime, day or night, if you have that Let's Go Rewards app, you get a 99-cent coffee or hot chocolate. That's 16 ounce. So take advantage of that deal as well from Jackson's. We appreciate our post-game show sponsor, Jackson's. Hey, Taco Bell, TacoBellWorks.com, the SOM Management Group, the Nicolason family, TacoBellWorks.com. We appreciate Taco Bell and the local Treasure Valley Taco Bell locations, the SOM Management Group, the Nicolason family. So whether it's their award-winning breakfast, those breakfast quesadillas, maybe it's the Cantina Bowl. I'm doing the low carbs, so you just sub out some extra lettuce for rice and beans. So many great options there, whether it's the Nachos Bel Grande and even the new stuff like the crispy chicken strips and things like that. Check them out. Treasure Valley Taco Bell location. Visit a Taco Bell location today. Hey, you need that white shirt, that white jersey for the game tomorrow. It is a whiteout, trying to get the atmosphere going, get the energy up a little bit inside Extra Mile Arena to help the Broncos to a big win. It is a whiteout tomorrow. If you're going to the game tomorrow, you're supposed to wear white, and you can get that white news shirt, sweatshirt, jersey at the Blue and Orange store. They have the Allen Noble Hall of Fame location there. You can also get the location there on at the Boise Town Square Mall, or probably can't order it in time to get in here for the game tomorrow. But if you just want some new gear, you can order anywhere in the world online at the Blue and Orange store. But best selection, best prices, the Blue and Orange store. They're the official in-venue provider of the merchandise now, and they do a tremendous job. So if you want that official Nike stuff that the players and coaches wear, you can get that at the Blue and Orange store. And again, whiteout tomorrow, so make sure you have the proper gear for the game tomorrow night, 7 o'clock tip. Hey, Signature Roofing, leave us a voicemail, speakpipe.com/BNN. Signature Roofing, covering our community for more than 2 decades, whether it's a re-roof, a repair, an estimate, or an inspection. All your roofing needs, they're covered online. Signature Roofing, mysignatureroofing.com. The Signature Roofing scoreboard had the big win for Utah State over San Diego State. the other day. Tom Moser broke it all down on another night in the Mountain West. You can check out that show and get all of his recaps and things. But Element Fencing, decks, pergolas, fences, cedar, wrought iron, vinyl, they can do it all. 25 plus years in the fencing company. We appreciate Brady and company. If you're looking for a new fence, new deck, whatever it is, all your fencing needs, make sure you hit up Element Fencing online, elementfencing.com. Ridley's Family Markets, shop ridleys.com. Don't go to the big corporate stores. Go to the locally owned, the folks that really truly care about their community and their town, and that's Ridley's Family Markets. Shop ridleys.com. You can visit that CUNA location. I love that one. There's some other options as well online at Ridley's Family Markets, shopridleys.com. Check them out, Shop Ridley's, and we appreciate Ridley's Family Markets for their support of Bronco Nation News. Ropepaint.com, appreciate them as well. 20% off those winter painting projects, ropepaint.com. Check them out, roepaint.com, ropepaint.com. Interior, exterior painting, concrete coatings, 20% off your project at ropepaint.com. And last but certainly not least, Transportation Compliance Service. Check them out as well, transcompservice.com, Transportation Compliance Service. And we appreciate their support of Bronco Nation News. Again, Transportation Compliance Service. You want to get into the trucking industry looking for a new job? They can help you out, transcompservice.com. And every step of the way, all the paperwork and things, they're ready to help you out at Transportation Compliance Service. All right, there was a big discussion about the student section. We did have Bauscher on earlier. You can go back and watch that. Let's see. They're number 114 in the net. Men are 61. They play a weak conference. Yeah, I mean, I don't think anyone's denied that. I said that. There's not a lot of great teams in the conference, but 17-5 is 17-5, and you win the conference tournament, you're going to the NCAA tournament regardless of how weak your conference is. So I think they certainly deserve some love for what they're doing, and they're having a great conference season. But certainly, yes, the men's team would have a different record if they played the quality of teams that the women's team played. That's just the way it goes, and vice versa. The men's team has played a very difficult schedule this year, but with that said, they haven't exactly taken advantage of that. Joe saying the arena was sold out 80% of the time when Boise State had a population of that. Now, I'm going to play this again. This is just 20 seconds. I'll leave the sound up. This was when Grand Canyon took the floor on Friday night.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming back out of the floor,
Okay, this is for a regular season Friday night game against a team that was in 7th place in the conference in Boise State. So that wasn't even like a rivalry game, a big game. That was just a normal game for Grand Canyon. And honestly, of all the games circled on their schedule, probably one of the games that not as many people even, would have cared about considering other games. When I got to that arena 3 hours before tip-off, they had a tailgating party outside. Now I get it. The weather's warmer. They can do different things with that. But maybe you use the Aux Gym or something and have a little pregame party. I don't know. They had a DJ. They had barbecue getting grilled. They had bags you could play, all kinds of games and things you could do. It was like tailgating for a football game, but it was for a basketball game. And then when the time comes, they all go running in to get the best seats. And it was packed and loud, hours before the game started. I mean, it was pretty incredible what they had going on there. And it was pretty crazy. Here was another pregame video I had. There's another pregame video. And I guess part of why I say this is like people always get on me. Oh, they're blaming the fans. Oh, they're doing this. Like that stuff matters. It really does. Like stop calling out the fans. Maybe they'll come back. They're not going to come if they get called out. Like I get that. But like I challenge you, go watch a game at Grand Canyon. Go watch a game at the Pit. Go watch a game in Logan. Like Those teams are good because of the fans. They just don't lose home games, and that helps them win other games. And it's all a big circle. Like, yes, does the team need to play better? Yes. Did losing to Hawaii Pacific in the first game kill some of the momentum? Yes, I'm not denying that. But like, Grand Canyon lost a home game during winter break when they had no students to Colorado State. Did they just not come to the next home game because they lost a home game? No, they all showed up. You see it. So I don't know. It's the chicken or the egg. I get it. Does this team need to have some magical run and win a game in March to get the fans back on board? I don't know. But it's as bad this year in the student section as I can ever remember. And I don't know how you do it. They've tried giving them pizza before. They tried doing different things. Yes, by the way, I did see this. I actually saw I was outside when the helicopter landed. I was doing my radio hit on KTIK, and I saw the helicopter land, and then they ended up bringing the ball in. That was actually pretty cool. They did that. So I don't know what you can do, but something has to be done because people use it as an excuse. A lot of the negative BSU basketball fans want to say the crowd's not an excuse. Give us a product that we want to see and we'll show up, all that kind of stuff. But I just don't think that is fully fair. I mean, because this Boise State team is good enough that if they had that atmosphere, they would have won some of these games. They would have beat Utah State. They wouldn't have had my wife and kids sitting in the 8th row of the student section because no students from around town wanted to come to the game, and they had to fill it with general public seats. Like, it's just, I guarantee you all the people in that Grand Canyon video are not even basketball fans. Like, they just want to come party and hang out, and it's the cool thing to do. Like, it just is. Grand Canyon, it's one thing to say, oh, you go to Kansas, you go to Duke, like, yeah, you're basketball historians, that's what you do. Not at Grand Canyon. Those people don't want to, those people don't, probably half of them don't even care about basketball, couldn't even name all the players on the team, couldn't name the teams in the conference. They're just there to drink and party and hang out and have a great time. And when they do that, that means the team wins a lot of games. And so Bronco 130 says you have to like basketball, and you have to want to see your team have success. And I don't know if that's a shot saying that they're losing home games, so why would they come or not? But if you have that atmosphere at Extra Mile Arena, they're not losing to Grand Canyon. They're probably not losing, I don't know, maybe even to Utah State. Who knows? They're not losing to Hawaii Pacific with that crowd. I can guarantee you that. So I get it. There is a chicken and an egg sentiment where you need the team to win and have some success. You want the team to play an exciting brand of basketball. But, Leon deserves the same energy. I would also say, when you look at the fact that Boise State has won 80+% of their home games, you do see a team that wins 8 out of 10 times. You win over 8 out of 10 times. You go to Extra Mile Arena, you see a win. And you look at it over time, a lot of those are pretty easy wins. And in the 18% of the games they lose, check how many of those are like double-digit losses. I know you had the Grand Canyon and Utah State back-to-back, but for the most part, even when they lose a game, it's a pretty competitive, close game. I mean, it's like very rare that if you look at the stats where they've lost a home game by double digits, it just doesn't happen very often. So you get to see a win 82% of the time. And in, the other probably 10 of the 20%, you're seeing a competitive game. So you're talking 90+% of the times, 9 out of 10 times you go to Extra Mile Arena over the last 10 plus years, you're going to see a fun competitive game. And 8 out of those 10 times they're going to win it. Like, I don't really buy the whole, you have to, they want to see some wins before the team shows up. They have won. They've won at home at a very good high clip over time. And I think they've done enough winning at home to where the fans should want to come out. The students should want to come out. And I don't know if it's the marketing department. I don't know who it is. And by the way, that there was no, I'm not blaming anybody, whatever, but I think you need to have members of the marketing department, members of the department in general at these games to see this crowd. And I don't think there was anybody from the marketing department that I know or from, Jeremiah wasn't there. Cody wasn't there. I know Cody has been to almost every game this season. So it's not some negative shot on Cody. He's traveled to more road games than anybody in this program ever has. But I would take some of the marketing department down there on some of these games and let them sit there and see this and talk to some of these folks, and particularly the teams that are not staying in the conference that don't care, probably Grand Canyon, New Mexico, maybe some of those. New Mexico's different. I would say that the crowd at, first of all, yes, I just think you need to get in front of these people. And Boise State's done a really good job. Jeremiah's traveled to more road games in any AD that I've been here. Cody, like I said, goes to almost every game. But I think one way would be to get the marketing department maybe at some of these games physically to see what's going on and how to replicate that. There's different kinds of crowds, I guess you could say. I would say the Grand Canyon crowd is similar to like the Utah State crowd. Utah State has the gloves, they have the design cheers and chants, and everybody kind of knows it. I would say those two are similar, Utah State and Grand Canyon. And then I would say New Mexico and San Diego State are similar just because those are, more traditional powerhouses, I guess you could say, and more kind of historic long-term in terms of the venues. And the New Mexico students, there's just a lot of them. San Diego State students, there's a lot of them. And they do, they're loud and they're into the game, but they're not necessarily the party atmosphere that some of these are. So there's different kinds of student sections, I guess I would say. But that crowd at Grand Canyon was pretty eye-opening for that program. And you can say they don't have football and they're a for-profit university and all that. That has nothing to do with fans wanting to go to basketball. I mean, are you only allowed to be a football fan? Like Boise State gets 5,000 students that go to the football games and they win every home game at football pretty much. And I know those fans leave at halftime, but they all have a good time and go. And why do they not want, like, they're not allowed to go to basketball? They can only like football. I mean, why don't they go to both? I mean, I don't really buy some of the arguments that are being out there. There's too many students that go to Boise State and too many students that live in this valley that for them to be, having to give away free tickets to students for maybe one of the biggest home games of the season against Utah State and having that whole mess happen. I think that Jeremiah and Cody and these people and Leon and the staff, they work way too hard and they put way too many resources into this program to have the student turnout that they do. And like I said, I get it. They're 0-10 in the tournament. They're 0-5 under Leon. The March success hasn't been great, and I totally understand that. But in terms of going to a home game and having a good time, you have a good time at a home game more than 8 out of 10 times they win the game. And more than 9 times out of 10, it's a competitive game that comes down to the final couple of minutes. They don't really get blown out very much. So I just really don't totally buy give us a product we want to see. They consistently have given you a product at home that you would have a good time watching. And so they've got to figure out some way to get the students engaged, because that atmosphere at Grand Canyon right there, like Boise State was down 2 at half. They were playing great. Like, that's a winnable game. And then you give up a turnover and it leads to a dunk and the crowd goes crazy. And then AG Nato's hands get a little sweatier and the next ball goes off his hands and it's another turnover and a dunk and the place goes crazy. That stuff matters. That stuff adds up. I also like how their students are on the side of the court, not behind the basket. I don't know if that's something you can change and do at Extra Mile Arena. Probably not. I know they're trying that fan wall at the other end and getting students and loud fans behind both baskets. It would be great. But I also think the way Grand Canyon does it, where they literally just give half of the seats on one side of the arena to the students, is a game changer as well. So I don't think students care about the well, if that's fine, then where are they? That's fine. That's good. Then, like I said, it shouldn't matter. It's just something to do on a Tuesday night at 7:00 tomorrow. Like, have a few beers with your friends and come over to the game. Like, I just don't understand it. And every time I go see one of these atmospheres, it makes me even more kind of puzzled and confused, because Boise State plays well at home already, and you give them that kind of atmosphere, they'd be unbeatable. They really would. So, and it's going to be a talking point here for a couple more weeks, because the next road game on Saturday is New Mexico. They play a 9:00 game against Utah State on Wednesday. I guarantee you that place is going to be packed. 9:00 game for New Mexico on a Wednesday. I guarantee you that place is going to be packed. So it's only a 6K stadium. Let's not forget that. It's about 7, and it's about 3,000 of them are students. So they get 3,000 students. So that's still way more students than Boise State gets. You get Boise State 3,000 students, that you'd take that in a heartbeat. So let's not totally. Yes, it is a smaller arena and it's full, but it's full in large part because of the students, and they get 3,000 of them there for every game. Do I agree Extra Mile Arena is too big? Yes. Would Boise State playing in an arena like Grand Canyon and sell out every game and make it more of an intimate environment and a thing, is that part of the problem? Yes. Is that ever possible right now? Probably not. I mean, the building's 40 plus years old. That is one of the problems. The arena's too big, and they just need you see Baylor, Texas, a lot of these schools are going to smaller arenas. I hate to say it, but what would, in a perfect world, you'd play one season down at the downtown arena, ICC arena. You'd play a season down there, and you would just tear down Extra Mile Arena and build a smaller arena in the same spot. Is that going to happen? Probably not, because you lose money and revenue on concerts. You lose money and revenue on other things. The fact that Boise State now does control Extra Mile Arena, I guess would make that a little more possible. But you wouldn't host NCAA tournament games anymore. You wouldn't host some different things like that. So you would lose some other concerts and events, that are now going to the Idaho Center and things, because you would have smaller capacity in the arena for those kind of things. But from strictly a basketball perspective, a new arena would make so much sense. And the problem is, you're doing the North End Zone project. You're trying to move on to the east side. They have so many things they're trying to do with the football program. I just don't know where the money would be right now to build a new basketball arena. But that is part of the problem. I will give you that. The arena's too big. Anyone that's sitting in the third level should be moved down to the bottom two levels, and you should just, curtain off the top level. The arena's too big, but that's not Cody Gogler's fault or the marketing department's fault or anybody else. That's the arena. The arena is the arena. So that's not anybody's fault. They just have to, it's hard to fill that many people. I get it. We've talked about it with the student section. I don't love the band being in the middle of the student section. It almost feels like two separate student sections, one on each side of the band. I wish you could move the band over into the corner, almost that corner, maybe right by where the visiting team comes out, and then get all the students there filling it behind the basket. I think that, I think there's some different things you could do with the student section and how you lay it out. But that, again, that's something, I guess, for next year we'll have that discussion. 12,000 seat stadium is a sleeping giant. If marketing figures it out, it would be dangerous. Oh yeah. If you could consistently fill Extra Mile Arena, which again, there's pushing 1 million people in the Treasure Valley when you factor in the surrounding, suburbs and things, we're 800,000+ people, and you can't fill, a 11, 12,000 seat arena. I mean, I think they should fill it every game anyway. But with that said, certainly for some of the bigger games, you would think so. And even the 9 o'clock games with these, like I said, 9 o'clock game on Wednesday, Utah State was the 7 o'clock game. And I get it. The students are in session, but the students only fill up, one corner of Extra Mile Arena. There was 3 other sides that weren't full either in the game against Grand Canyon for a 9 o'clock game. The Utah State game wasn't full either. Look at that game Wednesday. Utah State is at New Mexico, and that's a 9 o'clock game. And I bet you it's going to be a sellout. 9 o'clock game in Albuquerque. I know students are in session, but it's a 9 o'clock game. And that was the excuse everybody had against Grand Canyon, that it was a late 9 o'clock game. Well, other teams in the conference are having 9 o'clock games as well, and they're still finding a way to fill them. I think the Utah State game against UNLV a week or two ago was 9 o'clock, and I believe that was a sellout or really close to it. And the student section was certainly full in that game, UNLV at Utah State, the one where UNLV actually won. I go around the conference and I hear a lot of the excuses and things that a lot of the fans in this chat and on Twitter have, and a lot of those just don't really jive with the rest of the conference. Late games, well, they're not a problem at other places. Wanting team, tradition of winning and all this, like that's not necessarily, I mean, it's just disappointing. And I guess it's kind of a shame because this is Boise State. Like, I was sitting there at the Grand Canyon game going almost like, you think about the football power that Boise State is. You think about the athletic director that Boise State is, the facilities they have, or the athletic director they have, the facilities they have. Like, Boise State is, in terms of overall brand, probably the premier brand in this entire conference, or right there at the top. And they're getting laughed at and laughed on by New Mexico basketball, Utah State basketball, San Diego State basketball, Grand Canyon basketball. I mean, Boise State is no better than 5th in student section at a basketball game. Like, that is just crazy to me when you really take a step back and think about it. Like, this is Boise State. This isn't a Nevada or a UNLV or somebody else. Like, Boise State, I get it. They've built their brand on football, but they still have a very strong, good, reputable brand, and they have a awesome city and a lot of passionate fans and a enrollment with 20,000+ people. There's a lot going for Boise State and a lot going for Boise, Idaho. And I mean, I know they're not a basketball power by any means. They're not a name brand in basketball like maybe they are in football, but they've certainly done enough in basketball the last 15+ years. And people want to get on about Leon and all this kind of stuff. I get that. But when you take a step back and think about it, there is no way that Boise State should have the 5th or 6th or 7th best student section in crowds in the conference. Sure, San Diego State, they have a great tradition. New Mexico, great tradition. But there's no way Boise State's difference should be here to here. Boise State should still be able to get somewhat close to those in terms of interest and fans and whatever, because you see it at football games all the time. Utah State, that's just crazy because they've had some success the last couple of years. I get it. But, you look at long term, they had a lot of losing in the NCAA tournament under Stu Morrill as well. And Logan, Utah, like Utah State, like props for them. Their student section's amazing. They're doing a great job. But there's no reason their student section and their interest should be that much higher than Boise State. I mean, they're wearing surgical gloves at games. Like, they just bring it. They have great cheers. Some of them maybe are a little too below the belt, I guess you could say, for me, or a little rude. But for the most part, you got to give Utah State the passion and the fans. And then you get to like a Grand Canyon, and it's just, like I said, it was pretty eye-opening, and it made me kind of think about, like, I mean, if it's, and maybe the students just don't care, so it's not embarrassing, whatever. I don't know what the right word is, but I'm just sitting there big picture going, like, how has it become this, where Boise State is 5th or 6th or 7th at best in terms of student sections and crowd in the conference? Like, there's so much going for Boise and Boise State, and I feel like it could be a sleeping giant, as somebody said. And it already kind of is. They win 8 out of 10 home games. Like, you see a lot of wins there. They're doing more with less already. You give them one of those environments, they'd go undefeated at home almost every year. So I know it's a rant that kind of went on here, and it wasn't intended for today's show, but going to Grand Canyon, that was kind of my takeaway. Like, this is impressive. This is crazy. And they got to figure out some way, somehow, to get the students back engaged, to get the fans back engaged. And don't say coaching change. That's what the negative people always say right away. Like, they're not drawing fans right now, because the average casual fan that's deciding if they want to come or not is not coming because Leon Rice is the coach and they want him gone. Students are not coming because Leon Rice is the coach. That's another bogus excuse, if you ask me. Are they having a great year this year? No. I don't think they are. But could they be having a better year if they had a packed arena at home this season? I think so. And that could have led to other wins and other games. So it's all, cyclical, or whatever it's called, in terms of it all being together. Team needs to win more. Yes. Could they win more if they consistently had a better home court? Yes. Can you win more road games if you win more home games? Yes. Because you get better players, you have better momentum, like, things happen. So I'm very curious tomorrow. Again, a 7:00 game against Nevada. All the excuses were the late games and all this. 7:00 game against Nevada. I hope I'm pleasantly surprised, and there's a nice crowd tomorrow, and we'll see if that helps them. Like, tomorrow's the kind of game where you need a crowd. Like, you already lost at Nevada. Nevada's right there, above you, I think, in the KenPom rankings. Like, this is a very winnable game at home, but it's also a very losable game. Like, this is the kind of game where, let's look at that Grand Canyon game the other night. That spread was 1 or 2 points, and their crowd just made the difference and propelled them to a win. Like, this spread is going to be 3.5 points, and this is a good Nevada team that already beat you. So if you get a good, strong crowd and you play well and you feed off that, like, you could get a really big win tomorrow night, and it's a game you could win. But you don't get a crowd, there's no atmosphere, you don't play. It's a game Boise State could easily lose and kind of keep the tailspin going. So we'll see tomorrow what the crowd looks like, and we'll see what the team looks like. We're going to go talk to Leon and some players here, and I may ask Leon about that atmosphere and some of these other games coming up. Maybe I'll write something on that at some point. We'll see. Free beers to students. I don't know if that's the answer, just being completely honest. I'm a guy that loves a beverage, loves a Sun Cruiser, loves a beer, but I know there is kind of a stigma against promoting drinking to students and college students and drinking, and I know there's something to that. Some of these places, Wyoming or UNLV does happy hour. They half-price beers up until the first media timeout. I think the South Florida coach bought 500 free beers for the first 500 students that came in for a game. Like, maybe that is something you can do, but I don't know how I feel on that. Would that help? Yes. Would I be okay with it? Yes. Am I going to get on Boise State for not doing that? No. That's always a tough one to me, the drinking and college students and all that. So I don't have a huge problem with that. Maybe discount them. I don't know about free, but I do know that that's a sore subject with some folks, and especially in this town, promoting student drinking and all that. I don't know if that's the answer, to be honest with you, as much as it would probably help, sadly. Let's see. Chances you can be convinced to send marketing to some of these places, good idea, and someone should explore it. Yeah, I do these trips for $700-800. You buy a round trip airfare. Boise State has a charter, but the charter is usually full of people. But there's ways to travel to some of these places, and I know they have, and I know they talk to them and they do what they can. This is not I am not bashing on the marketing department. They've done the best they can. You can't beg the students to come. You can't go physically drag them out of their dorms to come to the game. So they've tried different things. They tried the free ticket thing. That obviously didn't work and backfired, but the marketing department is really doing what they can. Could there be some ways and discussions to do more? There's going to have to be, but I don't think that the student crowd is what it is because of the marketing department. To be honest, I think it's the students and the culture of just students not wanting to go to games and for whatever reason, you can't physically make them come to games. So I'm sure they're going to have conversations in the offseason, conversations about trying to change it, because if you could go from here to here with the students and the atmosphere, that place becomes you're almost unbeatable in there. You really are. That's what the stats say. You're already almost unbeatable. You win 8 out of plus 10 games inside there, and you have a chance to, go higher than that, I think, with a little different atmosphere. And it's not going to change anytime soon, because Boise State's going to feel it on Saturday at the Pit, and they're going to feel it on the next road game at Utah State, and they're probably going to feel it at Colorado State on their senior day in the last game. So some tough road games still ahead here. And we'll see what happens. But 7 o'clock tomorrow, it is a home game, and it's a 7 o'clock game, so a chance for Boise State to get back on the winning track, and we'll see what the crowd looks like. We'll have plenty more tomorrow. Jay Tust will join me 9 o'clock tomorrow. Jay Tust will join me tomorrow morning. We'll preview this game, talk more about this. I am going down to talk to Leon. We'll get that posted to the YouTube channel. Going to talk to a player as well, so we'll get all that posted. And we will have plenty more for you later. I know Chris Van Sickle is working on another report card story for football. Also here, there could be some good news coming on the recruiting front from Chris. So BroncoNationNews.com. Go subscribe. We got our 50% off sale going on right now. Annual subscriptions, 50% off. BroncoNationNews.com. We're barely a month away, guys, from spring ball. We got the traditional signing period coming up, but you got spring ball coming up, and we're going to have coach interviews and things coming up here moving forward. So a lot of football coverage to come, and a lot of basketball coverage as well, as we're into the month of February here. And before you know it, March Madness will be here. So appreciate you guys for checking out the show today. Please support all of our sponsors, including Lithia Ford of Boise, our title sponsor. That next car, truck purchase, make it at Lithia Ford of Boise. And of course, the Sun Cruiser Studios. Pick up a Sun Cruiser today, and it really does matter, folks. Take a picture of yourself having a Sun Cruiser and send it to me. I've been sending those off to the folks at Sun Cruiser, and they've been loving the interest so far. So if you post on social media yourself having a Sun Cruiser, tag BNN, and let us know what you think of it. And we're going to put drawing together here with some Sun Cruiser goodies at some point for everyone that does that. So appreciate all of you for your support of our sponsors. If you like these free shows, if you like seeing pregame warm-ups at Canyon, if you like seeing live interviews post-game with Coach Rice and players, you got to support our sponsors, folks. Jackson's, Taco Bell, Lithia, Row Paint, Blue and Orange Store. I mean, all of our ICCU, all of our sponsors that you see behind us, all of our major sponsors, they make these shows free of charge on YouTube. It's pretty crazy that we can do monetize a show on YouTube for free, where you can watch for free, and we can make money off this to pay our hosts and to pay our travel costs and things like that for these shows. So support the sponsors and subscribe. And like I said, when you do support the sponsors, tell them that it's because of BNN, and let them know, let the Travis Hawks of the world know that you appreciate their support of BNN. And let us know. Like I said, anytime you support a sponsor, please take a photo, send it to me, and I'll make sure they see that, and it goes a long way. So appreciate you guys. Go subscribe, BroncoNationNews.com. Check the YouTube channel out. We'll get Leon and the players and today's interviews up this afternoon. And if any big news breaks, we'll have you covered. We'll see you in the message boards, free message board, and the VIP board over there at BroncoNationNews.com. Go check that out if you haven't. And we'll see you at 9 a.m. tomorrow. Bronco Nation News live from the Sun Cruiser Studios, as always, presented by our title sponsor, Lithia Ford of Boise. Have a great rest of your day, everybody, and we'll see you at 9 a.m. tomorrow on Bronco Nation News and online at BroncoNationNews.com.